Hello YouTube, this is Tammy Pie and I'm back with another video. I wanted to bring you a couple of small things. My uncle's coming to visit today, so I might not have time to do any other uploads for a little while. So I want to do like a little update on hashtag Tarot Advent with Kelly Bear. And I wanted to show you a little mod that I did. My friend Coco over at Tarot Geek asked to see the, what is this called again? Something of Love, Goddess of Love mod that I did. I did a mod on the Goddess of Love Tarot. So I'm going to show you that first. So I hate this cardstock. The deck, however, is really pretty cool. This is the Wheel of Fortune. Ace of Swords. And I didn't do like a really great job on this. My daughter has like an office style paper cutter. But what I did was take off most of those red borders. I left like a centimeter, sometimes a little less on one side than others. I didn't do the really cool measuring thing. I just did it on the fly by eye. And sometimes I actually did 2 or 3 cards at once. So the edges are a little wonky, but the deck is a little easier to, I edged it in like this bright pink because Goddess of Love, it's a really pink deck. Okay, so it's easier for me to play with. I'm thinking I might soap it, which will take off some of the friction. It'll make it a little smoother, but still, it's a lot easier to hand over hand shuffle. And I actually can still, if you've done a wonky mod, hit it on the bottom here so that one edge is, at least one edge is straight, and then you can pretty much ripple. Anyway, so that's my wonky Goddess of Love mod. I threw it in the bag that the Curious Travelers are in because I don't even know. I don't know. If the deck speaks to me, I'll keep it, but I might not even keep it. I might just give it away or something. Okay, so Tarot Advent. All right, I have been using the mini Mother Peace deck that I got in the box from Honey Lou. And I'm going to read you my story in case you don't follow my my Instagram posts. I have 4 posts, and it's just the beginning of the Advent story in the world of Mother Peace. And I'm just drawing 3 cards like the project suggested, and ooh, that's terrible. And posting it on Instagram. My Instagram is Tammy Pie or at Tammy Pie on yeah. And it's open right now. A lot of times I keep it private, but you can look at it. Okay, here's the story. Day 1. Kaida's birth was celebrated by people from every corner of the land. They camped out during the days-long labor to await the birth of the new warrior queen. That's a 10 of discs. Some laid gifts at the gate of the sacred field where the goddess did her work. They came without any hope of actually laying eyes on the body, but to prove their loyalty. They knew she would remember who had been there, the Empress. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, a quiet man carefully mounted his horse. He had only the bare minimum, but it would be enough. Water, salt, his hunting gear, and a blanket were all he brought on the long, arduous journey. Shaman of Discs. Day 2. Letty climbed out of the pond and squeezed her hair. She sat quietly in the center of the lean-to, needing space to think about what was to come. Four of Swords. There was a change coming. The path was clouded and obscured, but a decision had to be made. Two of Swords. She called the corners and began to chant, and her feet soon kicked out as she called to the goddess. Suddenly the choice was clear. She opened her eyes, and a boar stirred in the bushes. She could hear her horse nickering nearby, ready for the journey ahead. Daughter of Swords. Day 3. The whole town buzzed with activities. People of all ages and all walks worked in concert to prepare for what was to come. The central building was a longhouse where a council of leaders met, discussed, and meted out direction or punitive judgment depending on the circumstances. One woman had been released, having served a portion of a sentence. The remainder was forgiven due to her service and the changes she'd made. She had replaced anger and resentment with compassion and enlightened empathy. The change rendered her nearly unrecognizable. Her face and posture were so affected. So that is Three of Discs, Justice, and Ace of Cups. Okay, and then today, day 4, I had a hard time with today. I'll tell you after I'm done reading. She found herself sitting in meditation again, not wanting to feel anxious about the time. It wasn't working. Letty simply had to lean into it. I'm anxious. I don't have time for it all, so I'm just going to have to wade through it. 9 of Wands. She was surprised herself by the way she was able to move and do more than she thought possible. The fear dissolved as she took one thing at a time and seemed to magically run down all of it. 7 of Cups. One last push at the end of the day, but it wasn't going well. Letty realized she hadn't remembered to stop and eat or drink. Her hands shook and her head hurt, and the last few things seemed to fall apart. 8 of Wands. Okay then, water, food, sleep. The rest will have to wait. Okay. So this morning I did my 3-card draw, and here's the thing. I am not a great lover of round decks. You can't shuffle them. They're a pain. I don't like round decks. I also didn't like, can you see this? Can you see I didn't like the art for today's draw. So what I did was, and this is for those of you who are on day 4 and haven't done your 3-day draws and you're feeling like, oh my God, what have I done? Sometimes when you enter into a commitment like this, it starts to drag a little bit. Sometimes this early, sometimes in the middle, sometimes near the end. And the way I solved that was to draw from an oracle that I liked and use this vulnerability card. Can you see that? I don't know. Go to my Instagram and you'll be able to see it. It's daisies and like a bunny rabbit sitting in a field. And I've seen rabbits do that. It's great. Where they're just sitting there. It's like they're waiting for someone to come and chase them or something. But the oracle card helped me push through because I looked at these 3 cards and was like, oh, fuck. I don't like this art. I don't like round cards. And I want to do this. I want to do this every day, and I want to finish it. And I didn't realize I was going to do a story, and now the story is kind of writing itself, which is pretty cool. So that is my day 4 tarot advent and my little moment of tarot mod. And thank you for coming.